Welcome to His Boots, Her Heels, a podcast where we dive deep into the world of varying perspectives, including relationships, friendships, pop culture, and much more.
So lace up your boots,
Strap on your heels,
and get ready for the ride.
Welcome to His Boots, Her Heels.
I'm Samantha.
I'm Brina.
And I'm Matthew.
And today, for this week's episode, we're going to be mostly talking about how we came up with this podcast, how we all met, and the structure of our debates, and a little something special in the end.
So, it's kind of funny because we would not be here today without Brina.
Yes, very true.
And her genius idea to make a podcast, especially one about seeing perspectives from guys and girls. And what was kind of your brainstorming when you came up with this, girly? Because this kind of came out of nowhere, especially for me to hear. You're like, oh, I have an idea. And then you just kind of went off with it.
I kid you not. It was literally for a classroom that we have. When our professor was talking about podcast ideas, immediately when he brought up the topic, I was, oh my God, this is what I want to do. And I just personally thought of an idea where it's relatable to everybody, especially for young adults, all of us. Yeah. And I just think that a kind of topic for girls and guys to be drawn into is something that people would want to hear, especially topics that are, what's your perspective as a guy when a girl texts K? Because
that's a big one. That's a good one. Yeah.
Because for girls, if you just say K, we're gonna be like, what's your problem? Did we do something wrong?
Yes, very much so, yeah.
And that's kind of what we're going to talk about on the show. We're going to talk about relationships, friendships, a bunch of different things, and it's going to be a good experience. And when we talk about it, and I have a lot of friends personally who are in relationships. I'm in a relationship, and it's kind of interesting to talk about those things. See it, again, from different views.
Yeah, you see those cute couples
walking. Oh, yeah.
We have a friend.
We do. They
a married couple.
They're so adorable. Get married. And might be a guest on our list eventually. Maybe. With this podcast, as our first beautiful episode, what we're kind of planning is this is a project that obviously we're so passionate about. But in order to make amazing content, it takes screwing long.
Which is why it's good to have. We were thinking Thursdays we would upload every 3 weeks and just fill in the gaps of shorts and reels. 1 to 2 every week.
Yeah.
It's what we want to try.
But anyways, getting to the conversation. If I hadn't met you in chemistry of nutrition, the most random class, you come, buddy.
Yeah.
And you come up to me and be like, I like your Sanrio book. I swear, if I didn't have that day, we wouldn't be talking and we wouldn't be the friends that we are. And it's all thanks to Sanrio. And then from there, we became best friends, and now we're making a podcast together, which is I cannot fathom.
Crazy.
It's insane. And because of you, I was able to meet Matt, and really be able to bond with you guys and be able to create this masterpiece that we're creating right now.
I love it.
So I'm really grateful for that. But Matt, I know you guys have known each other for a long time, right?
Yeah.
What was it? Sophomore? Or
I believe
freshman year.
I think it was freshman for you, sophomore for me.
Yes.
I believe, yes, that's what it was.
That's right. It was in film club, right?
Yeah, it was.
So, our college has a film club, and I'm gonna be so honest. I do not remember the interactions we had.
Yeah, I have a vague memory of our first meeting because we had talked about before.
No, it was the script that I made.
Yeah.
Because with the film club, we were gonna have a script made.
Right. Yeah.
And then turn it into a little short film.
Yeah, that's right.
So I was, can I make the script? Because I like doing that stuff.
Exactly.
And then you became the director.
Yeah.
And we had to work.
We had to work together. Yeah.
Yeah.
And I remember that, and it's so funny because And that first interaction, because obviously we were meeting for the first time, but you were so quiet. But then just seeing how all of us like interact now and how just like crazy and chaotic we are and just can have the best time and be ourselves, I think is so cool. And just Samantha was saying, I just think it's so awesome that we kind of come together in these random ways and can create something special. And you never know where your close friends, especially I think in college, can come from. It's like such a random thing. It's like, oh, just one day I met somebody, and then you don't really realize the impact they're going to have on your life.
That's for sure. I would never think going into chemistry that I would meet you and then all this kind of crazy stuff would happen. I think it really changed my college life.
Yeah.
And then I was able to meet, yes, you changed my college life, girly. Yes, you did. Because then I was able to meet so many people from that. And I couldn't be more grateful. So thank you for that.
Yes, thank you for everything.
No, I feel the best friendships are the ones you least expect.
Very true. Yeah.
Exactly. And what's so funny to me is that exact day. And I don't think I've ever told you this story. So a little juicy.
Okay. She's going to drop something.
No, that day, because it was
the day we met?
Yeah, the day we met. I'm sitting in chemistry class and I hope I meet a friend this year. And I'm thinking in the back of my mind. And by the end of the class, I don't know if I'm gonna meet anyone. Because this is my first time living on campus. And I'm just very nervous. I don't know anyone, and I've never lived here before in my life. And I'm just, I hope I meet someone. I hope I have a friend. Next thing I know, you come up to me and just point that out on my notebook. And I don't think anything of it. And then we start talking. And then when you ask for my Instagram at the end of our chemistry lab, which was 2 hours, by the way, freaking crazy.
2.5 hours.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, 2.5 hours.
Yeah.
And you just asked me for that. I was
like, hey, I'm gonna be lab partners, and then
did I just predict a friendship?
That's so funny.
Actual.
Hold on. That day,
Yeah.
you were, man, I hope I can find a friend here.
Yeah, I'm not joking. I want to say this was
That's
like
crazy.
5 minutes before you actually came up to me. I'm thinking this in the back of my mind, and this is the craziest shit ever. How?
That's so crazy.
I manifested it.
You manifested
I literally manifested our friendship. It was
meant to be.
It was meant to be. I think the thing is, life is so unexpectable. You don't know what's going to happen next. And I think especially in college, it's such a new time for you.
Yeah.
You're trying to almost reinvent yourself. You're trying to find yourself. And things just happen. And you're, how the actual hell does this happen to me? But you need to have confidence in yourself.
Yeah.
And understand that things take time. It's all just kind of fate.
Exactly.
It happens the way it happens.
Totally.
It absolutely is fate. I truly believe
it
too.
And it's crazy when you look back at it, you said fate, and then you don't really think about it in the moment, how perfect kind of things have lined up. But then when you see it, you're like, wait, that was it's perfect. Like, it's crazy. Yeah.
For sure. I think college for me has been an awakening experience, kind of finding myself and recognizing who I am and building those friendships, we said. But I would say there's also been points in college where I've been kind of realizing that I'm on my own now. And that
that's a bit, very much so.
And that I kind of have to manage things on my own.
Yes.
And I think one of the scariest experiences for me with college was specifically a night when I was walking back home from your dorm. I know. So basically, this particular night when I'm walking to my dorm from your dorm, and I know where I'm going. This is not that far. Her dorm is not. It's far, but it's not that far. It was less than a 5-minute walk.
Yeah.
So I know where I'm going. I feel safe until this guy starts getting up from his seat, and he's kind of making his way towards me. And suddenly I feel fear because it's 2 a.m. and even though it's a college campus and there's people around still, you always hear those stories. And
many times,
stories.
yes, at our school
they
specifically,
warned us in high school about this stuff. So I feel, holy shit, this guy is making his way towards me. In my back of my mind, I'm like, probably nothing is going to happen, but I never know. So I start bolting for it. And I'm looking behind me every step of the way. And for a second or two, he was behind me. And I could tell a little back of me. and I just kept walking. I sped walk. I ran all the way to my dorm, scanned my ID in, closed the door.
When you were speeding up, did he speed up?
Yeah.
A little bit, I could see. But then there was a point where I lost him.
Okay.
Okay.
It's just, it's a scary experience because you don't know what's going on. And yeah, we said the amount of times you've heard stories about people. I am a big true crime girly. So I always hear things about missing persons cases, about murders where girls are walking by themselves and then guys will attack them and unfortunately either kill them or kidnap them, and it's very scary and you don't know what's gonna happen.
And it's real.
It's real.
I genuinely feel that's a big fear that almost every single girl has.
Yeah.
Matt,
Yeah.
from seeing it from a guy's perspective, what is your initial thought when you're walking behind a woman? Especially, I know guys sometimes intentionally you end up in that situation and you're like, oh shit, what do I do? Is there been a time that you've kind of been fearful that you're gonna make the woman feel uncomfortable, or how have you felt about that? Has there been an experience?
There hasn't been an experience at the top of my mind that I can think of, but it is obviously something that is on my mind when you said it can unintentionally get to that situation. But it's obviously a very just hard thing to really gauge. I think especially when it's just such a huge thing in society now. And I think that's just, you have to be very, very careful for sure. And I'm curious because just from a guy's perspective and just kind of out of curiosity, because I've heard sometimes people will be, to make a girl feel just more comfortable and that she feels more safe in that situation, you can kind of hold back. But is that something that you think would work rather than, do you think that would also be a skeptical thing for a girl or for some girls if you held back and be like, I don't see him anymore? What do you think? Do you think that's something
if
you slow down so they can walk further in front of you so they know that you're not trying to chase them or follow them or something like that?
I feel, here's something better. I feel if behind that distance, you just said, and also keeping your footsteps, your pace slow.
Yeah.
So we might still hear your footsteps and we still might be a little afraid, but if your pace does not change, our fear will not spike.
That makes sense. Yeah.
That's kind of that sign that's, I shouldn't be as worried. And it's kind of a good sign, I would say, for me. So yeah, with that, I feel better about walking.
Yeah.
But I guess, has anything ever happened to you walking by yourself, whether it be in the daytime or nighttime? Have there ever been that? Has there ever been that feeling of stress that you're being followed or something bad could happen, I guess?
Yeah, I would say there's one story that comes to mind for me. I was in the subway station, and I remember, and in the subway station and really anywhere in any big city, I'm very alert, and I'll stand behind the wall or right up against the wall, so I know no one's behind me, and so I think that's kind of a thing that's put my protection. I don't know. It's just wait.
Yeah. I'm gonna start doing that.
Yeah. The one incident I was going to talk about was that I remember I was in the subway or in the station, and like I said, I had my kind of guard up, and I saw this guy walking towards me. And kind of my instinct, obviously, I feel like with anybody, would to just kind of move away. And I moved, I would say probably a good 3 or 4 times. And the guy was not even like 1 or 2 feet away from me every single time I moved. And this guy's intentionally following me. And I was by myself. And again, you think, guy, again, you could fight back, whatever. But you said your family's not there. Anybody you trust is not there. You're by yourself. And even though I know the city very well, it's still very, you don't know the people.
No.
And it's very scary. And thankfully, I think he eventually just walked away. But for those first, or not even first, for just those 5 minutes that situation was happening, it was very scary.
It's very interesting to hear your side.
Yeah.
Because people love pushing it off that guys never feel that. There's never been an experience where that's happened or you felt that way.
Yeah. And I think that's why doing this podcast is so important, because like you said, any gender can relate to these things. And I think something that, as we'll get into in later episodes and everything, I feel a lot of times, you said, the perception with guys with a lot of these things that would maybe girls would have a lot of emotion to these topics and stuff that guys usually have the same feelings or they're impacted by these things too. But a lot of times the stereotype is, the guy kind of just brushes it off, and it's really no big deal to him. But I
Right.
feel a lot of times more than not, I just know in my experience, but I just feel a lot of times more than not, guys are human too, and obviously guys have feelings
Yes,
too.
they do.
Exactly.
Yes, they do. Yes, they do.
So it's
That-
interesting.
that's a great thing I feel about this new podcast.
This new adventure for all of
100%.
us. Yeah.
I'm learning things I didn't know.
We're all learning stuff.
Yeah.
I would never assume
These beautiful.
These beautiful people are new
yes,
friends.
you. Yes, you.
That's you, our new friends.
I think it is so important that you're addressing this, like especially for male viewers. I feel it's really important,
Yeah.
and knowing that you guys have to suppress that, it is sad, and it's something that like I'm not proud of in this culture, especially. It is a horrible thing, but
I feel like it's always been. Like
it's
that.
I think
always
so
been like
too,
that.
yeah.
But I feel, especially with Gen Z, I feel we're getting better.
I hope
do
so.
feel
I think
like
so
we're getting
too.
better,
Yeah.
and we're getting to the point where we're having more understanding,
Right.
which I really love. But then we have our older generations. No hate on them. That
Love them.
We still love them. Yeah, don't worry, guys. Hi, guys.
who feel differently about it.
Yeah.
And it's because they grew up a different way.
Yeah.
They were
Yeah.
raised a different way. And guys, especially suppressing their emotions. So
Right.
thank you for sharing.
Of
And I
course,
feel that's
course.
really important for
Yeah.
our male viewers, especially to hear.
Totally. And I'm glad that we get this outlet to share our experiences and really just come together and just hopefully spread awareness and then just bring that courage to people. I think it's very important, like you said.
Now, guys, unfortunately,
Is it that time?
I think it's that time.
I think it's that time.
I
No,
know.
we were just getting started.
I know we're just getting started, but we have much
more.
to come.
Ooh,
And
yeah.
I
That's
am
right.
so excited and so pumped to share it with you all. Right, guys?
Yes, that's
right. Okay, so I think it's time to wrap things up.
All right.
Thank you for listening to this week's episode. Remember to follow us on Instagram and TikTok. Thank you for watching this episode of His Boots, Her Heels. See you next time, guys.
See ya. Bye.
Are we done?
Yes,
It's done,
Brina,
Brina.
we're done.
Okay,
All right,
bye.
woo!
Got it!
Got it.